Well, hello and welcome. My name is Velma. You can connect with me at velmaknowles.com. This is all about your leadership chat. What does that mean? You get to listen in on valuable insights from valuable leaders just like you. I want to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe so that you never miss another episode. And if this is of value to you, please share the nuggets that you're going to take away from all these great leaders. Well, hey, please give a big welcome to my special guest and your valuable leader, EileenMcDargh. Eileen, welcome to your leadership chat.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here. It's a great way to start off 2023. So thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. And you have no idea how excited I am to spend this time with you and to share you with everyone that's going to listen in on this. I feel like I'm just big Santa here, just sharing all your goodness with them. So
you must have been talking to my mother, I swear.
I love your mom already. Okay. But to kick things off, I would like you to tell listeners in a little bit about you and what you do.
Well, let's see. I have had my own consulting, lecturing, facilitating practice, believe it or not, for 42 years, which is incredible because I'm only 22. So
exactly. And you only look 21.
I have no idea how that happened.
Yeah, you got that 21 look going on, girl.
And it was by happenstance, more by design.
Yeah.
And I think, and you mentioned that in your introduction when we were talking earlier.
Right.
The world tells you what it needs if you pay attention.
Wow.
And so over these years, what I've discovered is that if I listen to what potential clients and colleagues tell me, oh, this is where I need to be right now.
Yeah.
So in that capacity, I'm a strong writer, but I left the corporate world because I was working for a PR firm. If I ever wrote another press release, I was going to throw up. I can't do this. And my husband and I, it's our second marriage. We've been married 42 years. And I woke up, about 2 weeks after we were married, and I said, I'm quitting. Because in my head, I was half awake, half asleep, right. And I envisioned myself on the edge of a cliff. And this voice said, jump, I'll catch you. And when I woke up, I slapped Bill. I said, Bill, I'm quitting. He said, what are you going to do? I said, I have no idea, but I cannot do this anymore.
Yeah.
And to his credit, and he's always said this, don't worry, we will always be okay.
That's right.
And we always have, Velma.
I know.
So with that, I began exploring. I knew that I could write, I'm a strong writer. I could write marketing copy. I could do that kind of stuff. But I also forgot that in my past life before that, I was an educator. I taught everything from preschool to adults coming back for their GED. Mm-hmm. I had 7th and 8th graders during the school term, and I had Title I children in the summer. It was an underprivileged area at the Florida-Georgia border. Mm-hmm. And I had forgotten, Velma, I am a good teacher. Mm-hmm. I'm a good teacher because I can take the complex and make it simpler. Mm-hmm. I'm a strong storyteller. And you and I both know that story is the strongest way of making a point.
Yes.
And I loved my kids. And so I decided I needed to branch out. And so I created 2 programs for the local college here. And when I gave the programs, one was the communication at the home and the hearth. The other one was the art of persuasion. Mm-hmm. And in doing these for adults coming back to college, I remembered, I do like to do this. And so over time, I developed, more programs.
Right.
And right after, when Bill and I got married, by the way, mm-hmm. I came to California with nothing. Actually, it was whatever fit in the back of a Camaro. And if you've ever seen a Camaro, it ain't much in the back of a Camaro. And Bill had gotten divorced, and we had his 3 kids. And he was in a job flux.
Sure.
And so I got this call from one of the hotels out in Palm Springs, wanting to know would I come in and talk to the Steel Service Center Institute out of Cleveland, Ohio. Yes. Well, how much will you charge? Charge. Way much money. So I said, $750. And so the meeting planner said, I'll call you back. About a day later, she called me back and said, you're on. I go, yes. And about a week later, I realized I needed to call the executive director of the association and, talk about the group, what they were looking for, blah, blah. And then this leader, this head said, and we'll mail you a check for $1,500. Wow. Oh, no, $750. What do you mean $750? Just
that was the down payment.
And I called that meeting planner back, and the planner said, Eileen, we always mark up outside vendors. 100%.
Right.
I learned 2 lessons, Velma, that day. Number 1, no one will ever say what I am worth other than me.
Yes.
Number 2, they were willing to pay $1,500. That's your job.
Oh man, that is so
And
awesome.
and they brought me back a couple of times. They gave my name to the Copper and Brass Institute, who gave it to the blah, blah, blah. And, when things are knocking at your door, you go, I need to pay attention to that, which I think is what's happened to you in your career, right?
That's right. That's right. It's been a huge self-discovery, but also just I call it the second part of life. I'm just enjoying it. And, they say that, when your career and your focus is all about you strive for the success. But when you want to give back and add value to others, then it's all about significance. And I think that's where I'm at in my life. It's,
well, if I had let my hair grow silver, I would look just like you right now.
Exactly right.
I think for me, I call it my Act 3. And I don't want to retire. I want to refire.
Refire. I love it.
Refire. Right. And so where I am now for me is I am listening. What is it that the world is telling me? And actually, there's 3 really critical questions that I ask some coaching clients. I just did it last week. And I'd like to say they're mine, but actually they come from halftime at Boston College, which they ask the graduating seniors. Here are the 3 questions. What are you good at? What brings you to joy? And what does the world need?
Wow.
And those first 2 are very different. I am very good at writing press releases. I'm very good at writing marketing copy. It doesn't bring me to joy. And then to say, what does the world need? Those are really interesting questions to pose.
Yeah. I always say when in coaching clients, I'm like, the first thing before we begin is something that you need to think about. And that thought is, what do you want? Because most people have no idea what they want. And yesterday I put out a YouTube video, and I said, most people come around, most people ask the question, why am I here? But the bigger question is, where will you be when you get there?
That's interesting, because I am intrigued by the why. I'm certified through the Why Institute.
Right.
You're actually even seeing, I saw ads at the gym the other day, and it was, I don't know what it was, for food or something, but the big question was why? And one of the things, and I think it's prompted by the pandemic.
Yes.
That people said, wait a minute, why am I doing this? And if it doesn't bring me to joy,
right?
Because we always think you did it because of the money and that's why you left. I don't feel valued. We talk about, what does the leadership do?
That's right.
I don't feel valued. It doesn't fill my heart. I'll go back and do it right now to support my family for a while.
Right.
There's something more I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And I think that's today. I think that's more the question.
Yes.
What is it that I'm looking for? And I like the thought about, why are you here? But where do you want to be when the whole thing's over?
Right. And, they've even recoined the great resignation to the great reevaluation. People are reevaluating their values and what's important to them. And like you just said, they're saying, why am I doing this? And can I do something else that brings me the joy, where I feel appreciated, valued? And that's what you've done. You did it back then, and you're ahead of the game.
I'm constantly doing it, because we're constantly in this. But when the U.S. experienced 9/11, which was the biggest thing that had ever happened to us in 200 years, 200 plus years. One of the things that I was picking up and reading was people who had been in some prominent positions left.
Mm.
And they left because 9/11 was a wake-up call.
Yeah.
This life is not going to last forever.
Right.
Why am I doing this? And what do I want to, where does my life want to go? I thought that was an interesting thing for people to say. And it took a horrible tragedy to get people to question that. Just like this pandemic has got people questioning things.
Right.
Which also says, this is an interesting for resiliency,
Right.
what at face value looks like crisis might really be the door that opens up to say, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
What matters now?
Mm. Oh man, some deep talk here. I
Sorry.
love this. No, I love this. Like I told you before we, for everyone that's listening, you have no idea how excited I am to have Eileen on, just this leadership chat with me. I'm just so excited. When I reached out, she was like, yes. And I'm like, did she just say yes? I mean, I was just so excited. And so I could talk to you for forever, but I want to ask you about, there's people in our lives that come into our lives and they make what I would call a valuable impact. And it's like this valuable leader that you say, boy, without that person in my life, I wouldn't be who I am today. And sometimes when I say, well, could you talk about one person and why would you say that person is that valuable leader? What kind of impact they had? Most leaders will say, well, but do I have to pick one? And so if there's more than one that's laid on your heart, I would just love for you to share with us who is a valuable leader in your life and why would you say that about them?
Okay. So first off, the word leader, if you look at in the dictionary, has multiple meanings.
Right.
Multiple meaning. It's everything from that long strip in front of if you in the old days of recording was called the leader.
Right.
It's the thing that you put on a fishing line. It's what you have the head dog if you've got a dog sled.
Right.
So there's different ways of leading. And when I just finished doing a virtual program for there were about 1,200 people involved in a franchise operation. And the second session they asked me to do was to talk about leadership. And one of the skills of leading is to pay attention to the talent around you and how can you help people grow it. The reason I say that, and what the story that to me was so huge when I was in high school, and you're in Florida now, we were in Fort Lauderdale, and it was a brand new school. It was 2 years old. Okay. And I, believe it or not, was very shy. And I just, it was a Catholic school, and most of the kids there had a lot of money. We did not. Right. I was very grateful for a uniform because you couldn't tell one from the other because we wore uniforms. Right. In my sophomore year, Sister John Margaret said to this shy, she said, "You're going to stay after school." Why? I didn't do anything wrong. No. We're starting a debate team, and I want you on the debate team. Oh no. I can't. She said, "Eileen, you're going to be an excellent debater." Well, you don't say no to a nun.
Not if you know it's good.
She got me in 1 year, did debate, which I really loved. We did extemporaneous speaking, which if you do it on a competitive level, you basically pull a topic out of a hat and you're given 15 minutes to design a 7-minute speech around it. And oral interpretation. Because she saw something in me that I did not. That's how I make my living. Years ago, I was able to find Sister John Margaret in Joliet, Illinois, at the Franciscan house. Wow. I couldn't see her, but I could call her. Said, "I just want to say that." And I think that's one of the most, I can almost cry thinking about it.
No, it's true.
That you look for people around you and how do you grow them? And how do you tell them the talent that you see that they don't see in themselves?
Wow. Yeah, boy, Sister Margaret, she was right. Don't you ever tell them that she's not right.
Sister John Margaret was amazing. She was amazing.
Sister John Margaret was right.
1 year. Only 1 year was she there at that school.
Wow. And what an impact your whole life. and for 42 years, that as of the recording here, you have been pouring it back into others. Oh, that's awesome. So the second side of that coin is most of the time, we know somebody that has made this valuable impact and has helped make us who we are today. And sometimes we get like you did. You found her and you poured it right back into her and told her, and she probably didn't even really know, because sometimes when truly a valuable leader pours into someone, they don't do it with that, I'm going to get something back or any, and sometimes they don't hear it. So kudos to you. But on the other side of that coin, now that you know what it takes for someone to make such a powerful impact, to be a valuable leader, how does Eileen impact others and make them become valuable leaders? How do you do that?
By guess and by golly.
No way. I'm sure it works.
I would hope that one of the ways that I help people become valuable leaders is I hold up a mirror. When you hold up a mirror, and I generally hold up a mirror telling stories of things on myself. Right. This is what I learned.
Yeah.
Might this happen to you? I might hold up a mirror that says, I'm reflecting right now what people are saying about your culture. Is that what you want them to say?
Right.
What do you want them to say? So to be able, as you said, how do you help them become valuable leaders? That expression, you can lead a horse to walk water, but you can't make them drink.
Yeah.
Well, the same thing is true. I can't, quote, make people valuable leaders. But if I hold up a mirror of what's possible,
right,
maybe a different way of walking around and seeing something,
right,
then that helps them become valuable.
Yes.
And like I said earlier, I think it's when we tell the stories of not only ourselves, but of things that we've learned, people go, you know what, that's really not a bad idea. I could do that.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. And I love the whole mirror concept, because everyone has value. We just have to have either someone help us to see it, or go through some trainings, go through some self-awareness so that we could start to see it in ourselves.
Yeah.
But everybody, has value and has gifts and talents that are not for them, but it's for them to share with others.
And I think right now that's an interesting dilemma. Seeing some people who are in, quote, leadership positions, it doesn't mean they're a leader at all. They just have the position. And what unfortunately I'm observing is some of those leaders are all about protecting their financial bank accounts.
Yeah.
They're all about position.
Right.
They're not about improvement. It's how long can I have this position?
Sure.
So it's more ego driven rather than other driven. And that's one of the dilemmas right now, Vilma. I can't change some of those, quote, leaders who to me are not leaders at all.
Right.
So maybe for you and me and the work we do, it's one person at a time.
That's
Each
right.
one teach one.
Yes.
I don't know how else to do that.
No, it's exactly right. And, set the example so that you could model the way for others to follow. And I agree with you, one at a time. But you know what? That multiplies, right? Because you touch one person, they always say, like, if you and I connect, you're really not just connecting with me, or I'm really not just connecting. We're connecting with each other's network, because, you've made an impact. You have no idea. Honestly, you don't. But you have no idea how many people I have told about you that I said, she said, yes, you got to see this lady's video. She's got a hummingbird on it. And yeah,
I'll tell you, you're channeling my mother. Just don't.
I am not kidding you. If I could just put a bird up in front of you, would believe me. I'm not kidding you. I've got them up on the wall. I'd really have to mess things. I know what I'm going to do for you. Right here on camera. No, right here on camera. Look, see, this is a leader's chat. But see,
look at this.
Look at the birds. Look at the birds, and so,
they don't know, Velma, that you and I, okay, for all of your listeners, Velma and I have a thing about birds.
Yeah.
We love birds.
Well, anybody,
no one else will know this. They're going to think we're bird brains.
Exactly. And we are. But trust me, anybody that knows me knows I'm a bird nerd. And I call myself an avid bird nerd and a coffee recovering addict. So they know that about me, the birds and the coffee. But anyway, that's beautiful. And I really believe it is one at a time, and I appreciate you. It's an audience of one, and if you're here to make a difference for one person, then you've made a difference.
You have no, well, think about throwing a rock in a pond.
Mm-hmm.
What we initially see is the little circle.
Right.
If you could stay there long enough, it becomes wider and
Right.
wider and wider. So you never know what it is that you put in that pond and how that ripples out.
Yeah.
Which also says, if it's bad stuff you're putting in the pond, what's the stuff you're rippling out?
That's right. It's exactly, oh, whoa, boy, that's a drop the mic moment. I love that. I love that. Okay, now this is going to be a hard question for you,
Okay.
but because you have already given so many big ideas, big takeaways, but we never know when someone's going to listen to this, and that's what I love about recordings, because they have a shelf life, as long as there's an internet. Then so we have no
Sorry,
idea. I know. We have no idea how long or when somebody's going to watch this and listen. And so my question is around, if Eileen could give one big idea, one big takeaway to anyone that's listening, that you would say, I want to share this particular thing with you, because that is going to help you to become the valuable leader you are made to be. What would that big takeaway be?
Okay. Can I give two?
You certainly can give two.
Okay. The first one, and it's one that, by the way, I teach what I need to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say something out loud, I'm also saying it to myself.
Amen. Mm-hmm.
Talk less, listen more. Talk less, listen more.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say listen, it is not listening to what is going to be your snappy-dappy response. Listen naively. Because those are only words, but there's all kinds of stuff behind the words.
Mm-hmm.
So I think real leaders explore what is behind the words. That means I really have to listen. And one of the things that we're seeing now, Velma, sadly, and it's probably, again, part of the pandemic where we live in a virtual world, people feel more disconnected than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Listening, really authentically listening, says, you matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear what you have to say. I'm not here just to bark out orders. Talk to me more. So that's the really big one that I think could help us all.
Wow.
The second thing is more of a way to walk through these incredibly disruptive times. And it's a quote that I love from Zen, the philosopher, who said, "To have hope, one does not need certainty, only possibility." Mm-hmm. And I keep saying that to myself when I see things that are disruptive, and some things I can handle, some things I can't. To have hope, one does not need certainty, only possibility.
Wow. That is so beautiful. Look at here. The leader is the dealer of hope here. Oh my gosh, that is just fantastic. I got to drink more coffee because you're giving me goose pimples. So
you're making my nose run.
I know, right? I have Kleenex somewhere. If I could pass it down the stream, right?
I've got one over there too.
Oh yeah, no, you are just such a valuable gem to me. I can't tell you how much this has meant to me. And so
we'll have to do it again. We'll do it again.
Absolutely. And it would be my honor to have you back. But I do want, I know I can't keep you to myself. I know people want to connect with you. They want to follow you. They want to learn more about you. They want to, continue to just get closer to you and your knowledge and the things. You're an excellent writer, and so I want to give you a chance to please share with everybody that's listening, how could they contact you or connect with you or follow you or get more of what you have to offer?
Okay, well, I love it. So first off, and you're going to have my name on this. If you can see my name, you can find me. To my knowledge, once my grandmother died, I am the only EileenMcDargh in the universe. So all you have to do is Google Eileen McDargh.
Right, right.
Well, that's my website. You can also go to theresiliencygroup.com. They both are one and the same. So you can find me on there. We have my cell phone listed, so you can call me. If you want to email me, Eileen at EileenMcDargh.com. Same thing is true with LinkedIn, with Twitter. I am on Facebook. I don't do much on Facebook. I probably should do Instagram, but I don't.
Right.
So I'm pretty darn easy to find. And if you go to Amazon and type in my name, you'll find the different books that I've written. Plus, you can also find them on my website.
Yes. Oh man. And you got to, for everybody else, so you get a good glimpse into why we love the birds, go to Eileen's website just to go. And when you get on the homepage, you don't have to do no work. Okay. I promise. Go to the homepage. Front and center is this beautiful video. And I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but you just got to go watch it. So take a flight over to that website and have a look at her video.
Thank you. It's going to be time to change it soon, but I like, because I said story and metaphor is the other thing. But so the little story, we won't give them a clue if they come to the website. Just go to the homepage. You'll see there. By the way, I also do a weekly blog, and it's generally pretty short. I don't want to put up anything that doesn't have value. And then I have a monthly e-sign. Plus, we just started a once a month newsletter on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And you can sign up for that. It's called Hidden in Plain View.
Wow. Okay. Hidden in plain view. Wow. Beautiful. I'm going to go and sign up for that right now after this too. So, again, I can't just thank you enough for, just sharing and just being so open and authentic, and then just being so willing. Hey, thanks so much for watching another episode of Your Leadership Chat. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button here and tap that bell icon so that you never miss another episode. I hope too that you'll give us a thumbs up on the video for a like. And then if you feel led, please share the video with those who need to see it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Your Leadership Chat. Bye for now.